So good morning. So you might be wondering what it is that I'm doing this early in the morning. I think it's about 7 in the morning. So I'm digging a hole, a big one, to plant a coconut. Okay, so I had posted a video a couple of weeks back showing how I planted my coconut, and there was somebody in the comments who said that I should be digging a bigger hole, something like 3 feet, that's a meter square and a meter deep. So that is what I'm trying to do. I think it makes a lot of sense what he said. You need a bigger hole for a big tree, because the coconut, when it's growing, the roots of the coconut needs to, if the soil is very hard, then it will not be able to penetrate the soil, and that will kind of hinder the growth. So yeah, I think the guy who commented on that video and told me that, I just want to thank you for giving me that information. It's really helpful. So that is what I'm doing. I'm digging a bigger hole than what I normally do, which is a small hole and then put the coconut. But this time around I don't have a coconut sapling. What I have is a coconut that I bought from my last trip to Kerala. So I bought about like 5 coconuts that my grandmother saved for me. So she knew that I'm putting together a farm. So she collected like 5 coconuts and she kept it there with her. So when I went, she told me, "Here, I've kept these coconuts for you. Go plant them in your farm." So I think that was really sweet of her to do that. So I'm digging a bigger hole now. I think this would be good enough. It's about like 3 meters. It's about 3 feet wide, I guess, approximately. Yeah, it's about 3 feet wide, and I think it is about a meter deep. Yeah, I think that is good enough for a coconut. Okay, so let me go ahead and plant it now. Okay, so I have my coconut here. So this is the coconut that I'm going to plant here. So one of the things that you have to keep in mind before you plant the coconut is to know which side you have to face up and what part of the coconut should be facing down. So the part of the coconut which has the eyes, like this part of the coconut, should be facing up, and this part of the coconut will go towards the ground. This is very important, because if you plant it the other way around, the chances are that the plant might just not grow. It might not even start. So it's very important that you know this. So I got some compost. So I'll put in the compost first. I didn't get a lot, but just a little. And then I'll put in some mud. And another very important thing you have to make sure is that make sure you're not planting it too deep. Again, the face of the coconut should be poking out of the ground. It shouldn't be inside the mud. So which means that it has to be only slightly covered on the top. So you don't have to plant it too deep. So I put it here. A little more mud. Put it here. Put the mud. Make sure that you're not covering the face of the coconut. Mud. that's done. So I haven't covered the mouth of the coconut with mud. I haven't covered it with too much mud. If you see the mouth of the coconut is kind of poking out of the ground. So that is how you want to plant it. At least that is what I was told by my grandmother. So she told me this is how you should be planting it. So that is what I've done. So I can slightly see the coconut, but not too much. And just make sure that you put just like a slight, just maybe a little bit of mud on the top so that it's not very obvious. That's it. So that is how you plant a coconut. So I'm done planting one. I have 4 more coconuts that I have to plant, so I'll go ahead and plant them. And after that we will start planting the areca nuts. We've dug about 300 holes and a few more to dig. So once those holes are done, once we are done digging those holes, we'll go ahead and start planting the areca nuts. Okay, so I'll have to water this. So once we are done planting all the arecas and the coconuts and all of them, I will turn on the sprinklers and give them a good watering. But for now, I'll just leave it at this. Alright.
ഒരു കട്ട പൊടി മണ്ണേ ഇല്ല അവിടെ. ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒക്കെ പണിയെടുക്കുമ്പോൾ കാണില്ല. എലിമകളുടെ കഥയെ മേടിച്ചല്ലേ. അവളുടെ കുർത്തിയല്ല, അവളുടെ ആർത്തി ഇങ്ങേർത്തി ഉണ്ടല്ലോ.
started planting the areca saplings, and we're pretty much close to finishing all of it. We planted around 300 to 300. We planted around 300 saplings. As you can see, the grass is pretty much grown uncontrollably. That's one of the things that you have to deal with when you're, when you're farming, is the weed and the grass. It's very hard to control it. When I plowed the land, I should have probably put something like a cover crop on top so that the grass didn't grow, but I didn't do it, and I had to learn the hard way. I just left it open for like a month, and then the whole place is now covered in grass, and it's very hard to get rid of grass. If you know anything about grass, it's the hardest thing to get rid of. So what I'm doing is, now that we are clearing this place to plant the saplings, I've got some Lobia beans with me. So what Lobia does is, they belong to this is white Lobia, and it belongs to the bean family. So they're very good nitrogen fixers. They help in fixing nitrogen to the soil. So what I'll do is, I will put Lobia all around in the exposed areas, and then just cover it with mud, so that when I water it, the Lobia will sprout and it will kind of spread. It's a vine Lobia. This is the white Lobia variety. So I think this is a vine variety. So it's gonna more like spread all out, and that is going to stop the grass from growing, at least at the root level. So at least near the roots. So that is something that I'm gonna do. So I need to dig more soil and put it near the root of this plant, the areca. So when I'm doing that, I'll also cover the Lobia bean with some soil, and I think that will do. Yeah. And just do some broadcasting, like just throw it here and there so that it'll grow. Hoping that it will get in touch with the soil and it will grow, right?